I just got off an amazing coaching call with Tom Ferry. If you don't know him, Google him. The content is unreal. He is the head coach. I'm a coaching client of his, and he shared the 7 sticking points to running a successful, profitable team. And I'm going to share them with you in a second. My name's Tom Toole. I run the Tom Toole Sales Group at RE/MAX Main Line in the greater Philadelphia area. And a lot of you have reached out to me about expired listings, what our prospecting techniques are, all sorts of tactical ways that we are successful here. So we're going to be bringing a monthly piece of content to you to help you run your team in a similar way and have some success. What you'll find in the email here not only is kind of a recap of something that I've learned. I go to a lot of seminars, conferences across the country, but also 4 ways that we are helping people hack their business with very precise and tactical ways that you can improve one small thing that'll get you big results. But now to the content. So the 7 sticking points of running a great team. So if you're running a team now or you're thinking about running a team, ask yourself these questions. This is a lot of self-evaluation, and what that's going to do is get you to a point to help you make the decisions you might have been putting off. So question number 1 is, do you have people working for you that are non-compliant? So what do I mean by that? I know at our team we have minimum standards. You have to be in the office X amount of times a week. We're expecting X amount of calls, a certain amount of transactions a month. So people that are not meeting the minimum standards or are not adhering to your core values. So behind the camera here, up behind Nick, we've got our core values posted on the wall: being a team, having integrity, being professional, being driven, and providing service in no particular order. So if someone is non-compliant with those, are you letting them stick around? That's the big question here. And obviously there's different ways that people can be non-compliant, but the bottom line is when someone continually does things that are against your culture, they're basically sitting there giving you a double middle finger saying what you're providing is not good enough and I don't want to do it. So you need to really ask yourself, do you have those people that are non-compliant and how you are going to deal with it? Not an easy conversation, and a lot of these questions aren't going to be. Number 2, your people are not trained enough consistently, so conversion and sales are suffering. So they're not getting that normal role play, or they're role playing and putting a performance on with the scripts, but when it comes time to actually make the calls, they're not following the script at all. Are you working on the basics with your teammates? These sort of things where training and skills are going to rule in 2019, 2020, and way beyond that as the market starts to change a little bit. That's how I came up. I was selling real estate 2008 through 2012. It sucked. It was a horrible market. Everyone knows that. The point is, skills helped us build our business every year. Our business never declined. We got better. So are you passing those skills and transferring those skills onto your teammates so they're playing at the same level you are? Are you as the team lead stuck with too many responsibilities and not working with your highest and best use of time? And this goes for an individual agent too. If you've got an assistant or you've got a couple assistants or a marketing person or a videographer or whatever, are you working on what's the highest and best use of your time? What I'll tell any agent out there, if you're in the sales role, you have 4 income producing activities. Number 1, making contacts. 2, setting appointments. 3, going on appointments. And 4, writing contracts and negotiating. That's what you need to be focusing on. So think about what your highest and best use of time is. Sit down and write down the stuff you want to do more of and less of, as well as what you want to start and stop. And that'll help you get clarity on that. And then you can build out other job descriptions from the things you don't want to do or you want to do less of. Number 4, the model is the sticking point. Specifically, your team or your operation isn't set up for sales acceleration and optimization. It's more of like the hero and minions model, where the hero and minions model is you got one guy at the top that takes all the credit and they do everything and they get all the sales, and you have all these people kind of underneath them. And I hate that word underneath. Or someone once said to me at a conference, Underling, it makes me want to cringe and curl up in a ball. It's critical you are training your people to grow and to be able to accelerate and exponentially increase their business. So if you're not doing that, maybe you need to reevaluate your business model. Number 5, marketing is stuck or it's mediocre. You're not standing out enough and you're not getting a ton of come list me calls. Come list me calls. Hey, Tom, I've seen you. I want you to sell my house. I mean, that's the best call to get in this business, no question. So are you evaluating your marketing? Is it generating enough appointments for you? those are the kind of things we need to look at. A lot of realtors focus on branding and looking cool. That's great. I'm focused on sales, appointments, and bringing in new business. And that's what the marketing is generated for. Marketing's job is to bring in new appointments. Number 6, the business is stuck because costs are not designed to maximize profit. So you have heavy costs that maybe you like what they're doing, but they're not giving you the proper ROI. Are your lead pillars performing? Do you know what your cost per sale is, your cost per lead, your cost per appointment? These are the numbers that a lot of people don't sit down and evaluate. And I'll double down on that sometimes you see a lot of agents, they have 50, 60, 70% of their business are acquired leads, meaning they're paying for leads. So Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, whatever, that's where the majority of their business is coming from, rather than working their sphere, rather than making outbound expired calls, outbound for sale by owner calls, all those sort of things. So really sit down and evaluate your costs and see what kind of return you're getting on those things. And lastly, number 7, there's not a strong manager in your business. The lead is not necessarily the manager. It depends on where you are, how you're growing. When we were growing and we had maybe 1 or 2 other salespeople, I was managing them as well as taking the lead on the sales. Now that we've grown to a total of 9 salespeople and a pretty robust back-end staff, I can't manage all them. And you shouldn't be either if you're watching this. So managing the business comes down to who's handling the one-on-ones, who's coaching the salespeople on the little things, the thousands of questions that are going to come up. So as you go through this call, and I just threw a ton of stuff at you here, these 7 things are a great way to self-evaluate, especially as we're coming up to the end of the first quarter, because Q2 is game time for anyone in real estate. That's when you need to be selling a lot of properties. So review those 7 points, self-evaluate, and that's going to help you tremendously in the way you're going to run your business through the rest of 2019. You guys ever need anything, you got questions, all the contact info is in the email here. We'll be bringing this sort of content to you once a month. If you got questions, you want to see something covered, hit me up. Otherwise, we'll be back next March. Thanks for watching.